Yes, how do they know that that won't be enough? Is the question. This is a very funny statement. How do they know that? You see, how do they know that? That natural immunity may not be enough. You know what I'm saying? How do they know that? When, in their words, in the statement, they said may, key word. So the thing is that they are not so sure. By their words or word may not means they have no proof to say not. So what is Miss Hoxel, our so-called governor, oh boy, is talking about and talking protocols is the question. People's lives is on the line following behind you. So we have to look at her ground that she stands on as a governor because it's looking very shaky. Very shaky. You know, because that's the question. You know what I'm saying? Why would you do that? You know, is the question. Acting just like Como. Why is she pushing every time she speaks on News 12 as if she knows something we do not know? You know what I'm saying? Notice she rarely even wear a mask. You know what I'm saying? But your children is stuck with one. You know, and it's stuck with one. You know? Your children are stuck with it. She knows what it can do to your system. So why she, you know, and the question is, why don't she speak in more detail, I should say, about the side effects, you know, better known as breakthroughs? Why don't she speak more of that? Is another good question. Like Bill Donatio de Blasio pushing, you know, he's pushing before you travel, get tested, knowing what that will do, you know, up your nose. And he needs to really, you know, for real, like I said before, my other video I just dropped, you know, he needs to leave. He needs to really leave. You know what I mean? Get out. Nobody likes you. He was also, you know, he was always to me a crook and a deep stater when you really look at Bill de Blasio. To me, I never trusted that man anyway. Who would trust him anyway? You know, especially as I don't trust him. You know, deep stater. You know, what we really need to do is stop the method and it will go away. And that's a fact. Just taking, you know, will not make it go away, but prolong this mess from them. You see, that's what it'll do. This mess from them, and that's a fact and point blank. You know what I'm saying? She's still blaming, you know, blaming for the sick, as if the healthy is sick too. You know, sick too. You know, pushing when she can't even prove anything outside of what she was told. Hearsay. Or she's a part of it and know and hiding the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's the question. You know what I'm saying? She can't really, can she? What facts do she have as far as a rate when they are testing and then saying, you know what I'm saying, but there's more healthy people than sick. So either she's lying or she's down and playing along, you know what I'm saying, holding New Yorkers into bullshit, deep state tricks, because we all, if we all get treated, you know what I'm saying? Let's say we always go and get treated, then we all will get sick. From what Monica Lewinsky and Antifa Fauci, according to Fauci, the weasel is saying. No matter whether you do, you double, you don't, you die. Or, you know what I'm saying? In a way like that. You know what I'm saying? Now that's a fucking point blank. So how many to the people of New York are you willing to take is the question. How many of them you willing to take? You know? Nobody is talking about misinformation based on anything to do with not curing. Let's get that out of our head. You know what I'm saying? If a situation arises where people are getting sick from some kind of virus or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that comes in naturally, not made up and put on the people in order to do the depopulation or whatever, transmit or whatever we're trying to do to people. You know what I'm saying? But let's say it does in some form. Of course we would want a cure. Who wouldn't? But most of them have been made up by men. And the nasty things they're doing. Even going back to the white plague, but I call it a black plague because, you know what I'm saying, I don't know why they always change things around to black. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, even going back to those days, a lot of bestiality was going on. You see, because one can't always run from what he is, but many have. You know what I'm saying? But we're not talking about misinformation based on the fact that we're telling you not to cure or help anyone. What kind of garbage is that? You see? So we have to look at that. You see? So what is the misinformation was they really talking about when people were concerned about saving their countryman's life from a snake trap? You know what I'm saying? You see? So where was the information? Now, if people were coming and saying this, coming in and saying the third, we know, like I said, we grown. And we don't need no demon Democrat to treat us like no goddamn child. You know what I'm saying? As if you think for us. We don't need you doing that garbage. We can think for ourselves. And ain't no country should hold no one under the point that they don't have an opinion or can't speak an opinion. See, we have a lot of these leaders in countries that will do that, no matter what you say, and then chomp up anything and then be doing some garbage. Even places, Malaysia, all those different raping the African women over there, and then committing sexual genocide and doing all kinds of different things in different countries. You see. But we have to start looking at where we at right here in New York. You know what I'm saying? And understand that there is no way that we're going to sit here and just not look at anything and say nothing because your trick was so sweet that we must fall for it. That's why everything was done in a rush and confusion and mass of chaos. Based on prior that what may have been going on in the White House, and even with a lot of those officials found guilty on many different types of abusive crimes. You see. So they unleash their holy plan. You see. And their so-called bullshit apocalypse. But apocalypse is only based on something that man is doing. Same as many of these infectious diseases that we see. You see, these were made by men and set upon people to do certain things so they could do this and do that and the third. We don't have to go into that because you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? But we have to start looking in a better direction as a free nation and one of the greatest nations on planet Earth. in its rightful form based on what you call the US of A. You know what I'm saying? You know, or the United States. We know where we are. But for them to say a certain thing and then put you under a certain groove and stick you there is not right. So people are going to speak up about what they see or what they think may be happening based on what you are saying. And when we look at the very beginning, it was shaky then. The ship coming in, you know what I'm saying? The big white ship with the red cross, you know what I'm saying, coming up in the harbor, looking like an old crusader, you know, and the fraternal order, you know. But we saw through that. That was garbage. Then we seen right after that, you said it was here. Well, no, you didn't. Well, yes, you did. But no mention or no visual contact of an overwhelming hit in the hospitals because they seemed to be very empty, because I was looking at a lot of them, and calm. But all of a sudden, we have an explosion coming out of there and a nursing home at the same time, saying this is what happened to them. And then rode along before anyone said anything as to right into restrictions. And setting it all up to run down the pipe. Come up there looking all pretty, setting the papers up, you know what I'm saying, getting his papers right, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, getting his papers right, you know what I'm saying? And then coming out with all this bull. And then the only time we got any kind of full closure, and then he was up there gimmicking on the people. Gimmicking. And then before we got any kind of overstanding into this thing based on an investigation into the situation, the first thing he comes up and say, him and his secretary, you know what I'm saying, and the crooked demon Democrats that they are, got up there and said, but guess what? It was already here. Mm-hmm. But you didn't say that in the beginning. Mm-hmm. You didn't say that in the beginning. You used that excuse because you wanted to say that it snuck in and you didn't say anything on the shit. But you pulled the shit. Because like I said, and I'll say it again, no one was sick until Como pulled that bullshit. So we know and we see the groove. But by people omitting and not standing up, we lost a lot of people, and a lot of people are now infected. So we've got to come better. And we've got to stand against that. Because ain't no way that a group of people call themselves a demon Democrat bring a political party into our country and gonna want world domination over all of us. Live free or die trying. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it 100. You know? So we've got to wake up, people. It's time to wake it up, and we need to put the investigations down. We need to keep our eye on everything. We need to, if they fart, we know it. If we crack a fart, we know it. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we got to do now for the future of our children and of the great nation that my people, you know what I'm saying, have founded to let it all go away, because the abuse that we see have went on, even on African people, does not speak well of what we see. So let's stand up, people. Be wise, be well, be strong, say rah, and reach in, stay for I. Farewell, my friends. Be healthy and wise. As we will meet again, I say farewell. One.